So Fiona, fantastic to sit down with you today and have a discussion around OFI follow-up. And I've been said many times that you've got the preparation before the open, you've got the open, then you've got what you're doing post-open. So this is really about making sure we can capitalise on that. And I think it's one of the things that you really bring to Team Hayne and so on around how you're running campaigns and doing OFI follow-up. So if we sort of drill into that a little bit, you obviously see that as a critical component of the success of a campaign? Absolutely
critical. Yeah. It's very important that everybody is followed up after they inspect one of our properties.
Yes.
And that follow-up is consistent. So if they go to an open home in Armidale versus an open home in Brighton, they're getting the same experience, exactly.
Yeah. So critical because for you at a listing appointment, if you turn around and say, one of the things we pride ourselves in is open home follow-up, and they've been to a Marsh Wide Open and haven't had that follow-up, that's, Houston, we have a problem.
Absolutely right.
Around credibility. Yeah. So what would you say, so I love the fact from a consistency point of view, what would you say are the absolute key points to ensure that the OFI follow-up is great?
Yeah. Look, at the open, we really need to qualify as much as we can. Sometimes that's not possible due to the volume of buyers coming through the door. Mm-hmm. But we do try and qualify, whether they're researching buying or selling on the day. So we can at least then, when we hit the phones on a Monday morning, we can start with those buyers who either have strong interest in the home, or we know that they're really active buyers, or they're looking to sell.
Excellent. So you pop some notes in at the open that sort of prioritise your calls for Monday.
Absolutely.
So you're starting with the high value or the most valuable calls, but you are calling everyone.
Everyone gets a phone call.
Yeah.
And but yes, we certainly do start with the high priority calls.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep.
So on those calls, what are the key things you want to make sure we cover off on?
Well, on the calls, the first calls to the buyers who expressed interest on the day, we do want to confirm that they still hold interest in the property. Saturdays can be very busy days for buyers, and they can be looking at numerous amounts of property. So first and foremost, we just want to confirm that they still have interest.
Yeah, fantastic, great. Okay, so it's really about confirming that interest and making sure you're clear on that. Where to from there?
Once we confirm that they do have interest in the home, we really want to drill down a bit further and find out their motivation. So whether they've sold recently, and we find out if they have sold, what their settlement date is.
Great.
So we get a good idea around, the urgency.
Cashed up,
purchase.
Ready to go, or where are they at?
Yeah.
So you really get a sense of where they're situated in relation to an auction or in relation to this particular sale.
That's right.
Yep.
And then we'll even try and drill down a bit further and find out if they've been actively bidding, and even try and uncover to the value that they've been bidding.
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. So that's great. You found out with those particular people what they love about the property, their situation. Have they been active in the marketplace already? Are they just landed in the market and this is the first property they've seen, and so on?
Exactly.
Excellent. There are clearly some other categories that come out too of your OFI follow-up. You've got buyers that might be engaged in the marketplace, but they're not engaged in that property. What process do you go from there?
If we find out that they're not engaged, or they no longer have interest, or they never had any interest in the home, we ask them what the reasons are, just so we can really find out and get a good understanding of what they're looking for.
Great.
Maybe it's on a main road, they don't want a main road, or whatever it may be.
It's also great from an owner's point of view to give them feedback as to what's having people consider the property, what's having people take it off their shopping list.
That's right. Yep. That's right. And if they do come up with some concerns, we do try to overcome those concerns. If we can't overcome them, then what we do is then try and help them and service them as a buyer. And
refer them on to something else.
Properties.
Fantastic. Great. I've said many times, service the buying need, identify the selling opportunity. So do you see that as a key part of the follow-up process?
Absolutely. We do. One really good question that we should ask at each open, or at least on the phone call afterwards, you're researching buying or selling today.
Yes.
And then that can really uncover their motivation.
Yeah, fantastic, excellent. So, and obviously that has a big impact on understanding on the way in. what are some of the questions you'd be asking on the open follow-up, given your focus has been firstly understanding where they are from a buying point of view, now it's identify the selling opportunity. What sort of questions do you ask?
Around the selling opportunity,
yes,
we'd ask if they are dealing with anyone from Marshall White, or if they've had an update with regards to the value of their home, a recent update.
Great.
And if they have, we do ask if it's with a Marshall White agent or another agent, and if it's not with a Marshall White agent, we'll try and confirm an appointment.
Yeah, fantastic. And that would be along the lines of they've said yes, I will need to sell in order to buy, or I'd be interested to see where it's at. Where are you living at the moment? Will you need to sell that one in order to buy the next one? Kind of
exactly
conversation.
To confirm whether they're buying first or selling first.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And I can get with your style would be very conversational in here. So. Great personality coming through, great conversation to really connect with those particular buyers.
Yeah, I think that's important, just to make them feel comfortable, and then they tend to open up more.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, shall we jump into a bit of a role play on this and see it in action?
Yep.
So I won't look at you because we're role playing. So you ready to go?
Ready to go.
Okay, cool. So hello, this is Michael.
Michael, good morning. Fiona Ansell-jones from Marshall White. How are you?
Fiona, I'm going well, thank you.
Great. Now, Michael, hopefully I've caught you at a good time for a very quick chat. Just following up, Michael, you attended one of our Open for Inspections on Saturday, 7 Childers Road.
Yes.
Yeah, so just following up, you did mention that you have possible interest in the home.
Yeah, look, we do. I think it depends on where it is price-wise. We're looking at a couple of other properties as well. Yeah.
Oh, great. Can I ask, are they in the same area?
Look, they're in the same school zone, interesting enough. Yes.
Okay. And can I ask where Childers Road sits on your shopping list?
Well, look, it's quite good. We're probably slightly concerned about the size of the backyard, given we'd like to put a swimming pool in, and not sure exactly how that would fit, and still create an area for the kids to play.
Okay, so swimming pool's important to you. You'd like to have enough space for that?
Yeah, either the property, we've looked at a couple that already have swimming pools, so either it has a pool or the space to be able to put one in.
Okay, all right. Look, that all sounds great. Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure.
Are you currently living in the area? You mentioned that you were in Malvern.
Not in the same footprint, but one of the reasons we're wanting to move is to be in the right school zone.
Okay.
For our daughter.
Yeah, and is she starting next year, Michael?
Yeah, she is actually.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So you'd like to be in the zone for next year?
Correct.
So there's a bit of urgency there for you if you found the right property.
Correct.
This year you'd be ready to go?
Pretty much so, yes.
Yep. Okay. And tell me, have you sold where you are? Have you got a settlement coming up?
No, we haven't as yet. It would be neat if we could keep this place and have it as a rental, but there's a very good chance that, depending on the purchase price, we'd need to actually sell.
Okay, all right. So if this was a property that you were considering strongly and you did want to attend the auction, you'd probably be looking for a longer settlement, given if you had to spend,
Look, we could. That's probably would be the ideal situation. How flexible do you think the owners are on that?
I think they're going to be fairly flexible.
Okay.
So I'll certainly, if I can get a longer settlement for you, do you think that would put you in a stronger position come auction day?
Yeah, well, that would be advantageous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Michael, just, after, obviously you've got interest in the home, I understand you're looking at others, but if this property was to sell prior to auction, we'll keep you in the loop. We'll let you know what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love that.
Fantastic.
Great.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Okay.
I could have uncovered a bit more there.
Yeah. So we could have done. Given that you're going to your plans to buy first before you sell, and there's a lot of good reasons for that. Are you currently working with them at Marshall White? I thought you were going to go there.
Yeah. And I cut it off short.
But it would be great to get an update on how that actually goes and puts it in place.
Should we do that again, or do we?
No, it's great.
Okay.
That was fantastic what you did. That's just that little bit extra step. But I think also sometimes you read the play and you might turn around and say, I'll hold back on that and follow up again with maybe some information. I've had a chat with the owners. They have got some flexibility around that. So now you're in a good position to say, why don't we pop out and have a look at your place? Yeah. So, I think too often it's a one-hit wonder, and that can sometimes be perceived as going for the jugular. But if you recognise, hey, they're in the area, they've got that, it is worthwhile us going to the next step, then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It might be a call in 2 days' time, or the next day, had a mention to the owner that you had some interest, but also had a need for some flexibility in the settlement terms. They're open to that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think sometimes we try and get too much information, and it's a bit interrogation, right? It's a bit interrogating to them. So, I think to be able to hold it back and...
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. So any other key points you'd like to bring into this?
Probably a couple of key, well, just in terms of making sure that every buyer is followed up.
Yes.
So yes, we do concentrate on the ones who are active and the ones who are active sellers.
What about if you hit voicemail or you don't get through, that kind of thing? What's the
follow up the next day?
Next day.
Yeah. It'll be either the next day or the next couple of days.
Yeah, great. So you're not leaving a voicemail message. You're
leaving a quick voicemail message,
right?
Yes, and then following up again in a day or two.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Something that I often coach is if after the second or third, then quite often a text message to say, just let you know I'm following up on such and such. It'd be great to touch base with you as to any feedback you got on the property. And sometimes that little SMS, they'll respond to that. Oh, thanks, I've been really busy and boom, boom, boom. So sometimes we interpret someone not responding or not answering equals this, but they might just have been busy for the last couple of days from a work point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And even leading up to the auction, if the follow-up, we do have a short list, and if we try and cross everyone off the short list, just so we know who's actually coming and who's not.
Fantastic.
And then if someone doesn't respond, it's a quick text, are you coming along to the auction with the intention of bidding? And it's much easier for them to reply and say no.
It's great.
Than respond to a phone call.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Fiona, thank you for that, and great insights around the OFI follow-up process, and it's absolutely critical. I know as a part of the Marshall White way that this is a hugely successful and, as you said, consistent way of doing it across the entire business.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
My pleasure.